Hello, my cheeky friends. It is Tuesday, and I am bringing you a Scraplift Saturday for the Crafty Maven Getaway. I will have information on how you can find them online on Facebook and join in on some of the fun. And for this Scraplift Saturday, I just wanted to do a layout that I've kind of had on my Pinterest for a while. And the cut file is from the Cut Shop, Ashley Horton, and the design is from Allie Stewart. And I just found it over on Pinterest and decided to download the file and kind of go from there. So it's very, very similar to what Allie Stewart did, but yet it is messy, mixed media messy. So we have fun. I found that the easiest way to do this was to cut out the cut file originally on the White American Crafts cardstock, which works beautifully in your silhouette, by the way. And then I backed it on a white cardstock, and then I also did a second cut, the exact same size, but I added different pattern papers from a couple of different 6x6. One was Jelly Bean Soup Southern Chicken Dumpling Soup. The other one was a My Mind's Eye Lucky in Love paper. And so I just took 4 of those 6x6, put them on the silhouette mat and did the exact same cut, and that way I had the inserts for each one of the little half circles there that you see, and it just made it super easy for me. I didn't have to fussy cut out every single half circle. At first I thought, I'll get a punch and do that, but this was just a cheater's way of doing it the easy way. So, and always, always, when you scrap lift somebody, it makes it so quick and easy. Sketches and scrap lifts, I mean, they're no-brainers, right? You love the design and you just put in your own twist on it, like your own papers, your own photo, your own, like adaptation. So my adaptation was to get messy here, although I followed the photograph, the layout, pretty darn close as far as the colors and the design elements. So normally it doesn't look this much like the person I'm scrap lifting, but this one actually turned out very, very similar. It was kind of odd, other than the messiness. So I just added some gesso from Liquitex on top. And then I grabbed some of my Shimmers products from the Cheeky Studio shop and kind of went to town and started adding my color with the packaging technique. That color is a pop art pink. There's also Pretty in Pink, and I added some Oh Say Can You See, and I also added some Distress Oxides. Was this one I did Distress Oxides? No, this is not the one I did Distress Oxides. That's a different layout. But yeah, you'll see me, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to fill in with a third color, just some cheap Artist Loft paints that I fill in so that, because I feel like it's a little too blotchy. So you'll see that towards the end. I go back. I pulled from the Good Vibes Crepe Paper collection, and that came in a citrus twist kit, and you'll see me just add some twine to that tag. And I do like the little holes in that tag. That's super cool. So I'm also going to layer in, because you have a scrap lift, you just kind of plunk and put according to where the scrap lift stuff was. So like I said, you don't have to think about it. So I'm just kind of doing that here. I'm sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. I've been cleaning the yard. So I'm trying to clear my throat because I've got pollen and mold and dust and leaves and all that stuff. So of course, when I'm editing a video or anytime I talk, honestly, I have a terrible voice. I was just blessed at birth with this voice, unfortunately. I've even thought about going to a laryngologist just to find out how I can have a better voice. Some people, say, oh, it's raspy and cute and, sultry and all that. And I'm like, I want to sound feminine and girly, but it is what it is. And it's always between allergies and my raspy voice. I know my daughter had vocal nodules and she went through speech therapy. Maybe that's what I had growing up. And of course, my mother never took me for anything like that back in the day, but maybe that would have helped. I don't know. And my nephew has vocal nodules and he never got it addressed. And his voice sounds like mine. So it's just, I guess it's genetic. So anyway, I'm sure you don't want to hear about all that. I went into some more of my citrus twists. Now this was from the cut apart sheet, the yellow tag, and I took some yellow twine. Also the label there at the bottom that I stamped with my Heidi Swap roller date stamp, which is my favorite roller date stamp, or roller stamp of any kind. And I just put the date, which this was St. Patty's Day actually of this year. And then I grabbed some of the ephemera from the Moonstruck collection from Pink Paisley and trimmed off some of the long stems and added it as well. I'm also going to add some puffy stickers from that same citrus twist. I think that was the January kit, if I'm not mistaken. The ampersand was also in that Moonstruck ephemera. I try to add this little mixed polka dot bow. Those are in the Cheeky Studio shop if you want to check those out. They're a beautiful little quirky satin bow. I couldn't get the feather to work. I couldn't get the bow to work, but the bow matches perfectly. But for whatever reason, I just felt like it was a little too much. So I backed off of embellishing and decided to go with my title. Now, these are the puffy stickers that are from that same January kit, but I don't like them. I think they're too small against the ampersand, and I didn't have enough letters to spell out the word you, and so you're going to see me scrap that and scrap that. I always catch myself doing that. That's too funny. I'm going to change that, and I'm going to pull some thickers from my stash, and I believe they are from Dear Lizzie. They are called Dear, and they're a really pretty pink and gold tone, where it's like a color block tone. So here's where I'm adding some of the pink from the Artist Loft, the little cheapies you can get at Michael's. And I like them because they have a chalky finish. So they're different than, say, Shimmer's products. But I love Shimmers. I love the little shimmery, glittery, and that's why I carry them in my shop. But it just adds a different element. I think everything that you add that's a little different from the other is just going to add dimension and texture. And that's one thing I love about mixed media, is just adding in that, that element of depth, I guess is the best way to put it. And this is a picture, of course, of me and Bab. We were in Michigan, and I've got my big puffy sweater, like I'm big hoodie, I'm all bundled up, and he's got on a t-shirt. So that shows you the difference between a Texan and a Michiganian, or a Michiganer. No, a Michiganer. I don't know. Every time they say it, I'm like, that sounds so weird to me. So I don't know. And if you're from Michigan, I apologize. I like going to Michigan, except for when it's cold. I don't like the cold. So here's those thickers that I end up adding. I don't know why they didn't have a capital I or a capital Y. It's kind of a funky alpha, but I work with it, and it does kind of add to a little bit of the whimsy. Not that I have a lot of whimsy going on, but let's see. So I glue those down because nothing sticks to gesso, and they didn't want to stick, although they were fresh and they were sticky. The two puffy stickers that I use say Everyday Magic and Get Cozy, and so I thought those were appropriate for the picture. I don't have the greatest camera on my old phone, and Bab just bought me a new phone, so I should have better quality pictures coming In fact, these still pictures are from the new phone, so tell me what you think. I appreciate you watching. I will leave information at the end on how to find Cheeky Studio, and I will leave information on how to find the Crafty Maven Getaway online in the description bar below. But I will catch you next time, so ta-ta for now. Bye!